of Africa 8063.
8063?
8063.
Okay, that's really far in the future.
Alright, which is a 50-year development plan for Africa. Alright?
20.
Sorry, 8036. Not 8033, 8036. 8036, I'm mistaken.
8036.
Or 2036.
Or 2036.
Did I say 80?
Yeah. But you know how far you go.
We were talking about numbers.
I thought they said marijuana sell in decriminalized yet.
Marijuana is being legalized.
Like you smoking.
This is January.
You smoking some serious thing, oh my God.
I give marijuana so much power. I am here.
Why is God getting so red?
It is
exchanging vibes with a very elite group of people. Now, if that does not produce a high, it's greater than marijuana. I don't know why you are discounting it. 2063.
2063, okay, no, it's okay.
That's a couple of thousand years away.
Even the science fiction don't go that far.
I wanted Africans to be called African 863. But 2063.
2063. Yes,
Maybe it's also because I went and see Bumblebee. So
So funny enough, this is why, like, the Black Panther movie, it caused such a huge sensation worldwide.
Correct.
Because they never saw African culture depicted like that in a science fiction movie before.
Exactly.
It really uplifted their consciousness. And it made people wonder, what if, you know, we're able to get to that level?
correct. So you see, it had to talk about the use of imagination
Of
again.
course, they have to use
Right?
imagination.
And one of the things I liked about that address by Lumumba is that if you listen to the vision statement that he makes for what Africa would look like in 2063, it's mind-blowing. Okay? And of course, you know, he's talking about China and the Chinese presence in Africa. And so he makes reference to the fact that China had developed a 30-year plan, all right, which is what we are seeing the results of now. But that plan didn't happen.
It was a long-term plan.
It was a long-term
And this is one of the disadvantages of our political system, because it's a 5-year. The politicians come in for a 5-year period. They have to show that they're doing something within the 5-year period so they can get voted back in. So they do a lot of short-term things to
In
look
addition,
as if they're doing a good
in
job.
addition, the culture.
it has the individual application as well. Okay, what are you planning for as an individual in terms of wealth acquisition? Is it limited to your lifetime, or are you looking to create a dynasty? Are you looking
And that's what the
to
Chinese do.
taking your family, you know, into a place where they can have, instead of having to work for money, that they come into a situation where they can see money working for them and beginning to use that money, money not being on top of them, they are on top of money, so they can now understand that money is just an instrument that we must utilize,
build more wealth.
foster and cultivate high quality.
And that's part of the culture too.
Wealth is not about money. Wealth is about relationships.
I read the same book.
You know, we were actually trying to calm her down in the studio waiting room before she came in, because she was so nervous about being on radio. Look at this girl.
Swear.
Wow.
Totally different.
But it is important, and funny enough, you know, when we get more people into business, more children are going to grow up in family businesses, and that makes them very different. Like even my friends that own a Chinese restaurant in St. Augustine, their kids grew up in the family business. So even carnival time, when all their friends are spending money in Port of Spain, playing mass, they are working in the restaurant. Carnival Monday, Carnival Tuesday, Ash Wednesday, they don't take any break. They grew up in a family business, and because of that, the chance of them becoming business owners themselves are a lot higher.
Successful business owners.
That's the power of modeling. Because I came through Trinity College in its early days when it was down at Melbourne Street. We had
really long ago.
It is 60.
1863. That was
was 1960.
That was the year Barack Obama was born.
College started functioning in 1958. I came in on the third intake because when the college started with just a Form 1. And then in the second year, it was Form 1 and Form 2.
Oh my God.
And then in the third year, which was when I came in, it had Form 1, Form 2, and Form 3. But the point I'm making is that we had a principal who was an ex-military man from the British Army, who was our principal.
Strict on them, man.
We learned leadership from him without realizing it. Because he was a visionary, he was a leader, he was a disciplinarian. We just absorbed all of those things from him without sitting down in a classroom and we weren't taught leadership. Alright, in the formal sense. We weren't taught discipline. We were, none of these things, but we all grew up infused with those qualities because the model was there. Alright? And it worked, and it was a very successful model. I can tell you that. Alright?
And funny enough, according to the book Think and Grow Rich, the models that you model don't have to be alive.
Exactly.
You could use your imagination as much as you can. Even like for example, one of my favorite entrepreneurs of all time is John D. Rockefeller himself. The guy who started Standard Oil. His one company got broken up into several small companies, which are all the major oil companies of today. So he was the world's first billionaire. And people look back on Rockefeller now and call him a crook or whatever, robber baron. But Rockefeller is actually one of the most honest, high integrity people of all time. The amount of money he gave to charity was ridiculous, and he didn't document it. He didn't show off. Look, I'm giving charity. He didn't do that. He did it below the radar. Right?
That's the way to do it.
And I model Johnny Rockefeller because he is very humble. He doesn't show off. He was the richest out of all his peers, but he had the least substantial house. He didn't drive the fastest cars or anything of this sort.
A testament, Roger, to the reality that I was about to state, that is wealth is more about high quality relationships than about actual physical assets. Alright? And the thing about that is that the confusion, where people get confused, is people confuse standard of living, right, which of course is very material, which is money driven, high standard of living as against high quality of life. All right, and I'm telling people, you could say that, but they tend to be dismissive about it. But a high quality of life is far. Now, the two things are not mutually exclusive, right? But a high quality of life, if you had to make a choice between a high quality of life
and a high
standard of living, high quality of life, you should choose every time. 10 times out of 10.
Because there are a lot of people with a high standard of living and a low quality
of life.
Exactly.
Why they would kill themselves and stuff like
that.
And it reminds me of a joke, and I wonder if I could
repeat
it the way
it's 2018, so go ahead.
Let's keep our fingers crossed.
There was a joke about someone from a wealthy family going to visit a poor family in the country. And when they came back home, because the parents wanted them to learn a lesson, when they came back home, the parents asked, well, how did you enjoy your stay by your poor relatives? And they were like, Daddy, it was amazing. We have this house on 1 acre of land, but they had the entire landscape. They had a pond full of ducks, and it was wonderful. And that's not the lesson the parent expected them to come back with. But they enjoyed that experience so much, not being barricaded in by a wall and being able to explore everywhere with the family, that, the parents was just blown away.
Wow.
High quality of life. Well, I don't know. So Charles, how are we looking for in terms of time? I got the feeling that we had a little more latitude this morning.
2018, boy. You had a plus 2018. You had time 2018.
We just want that time anyway.
So people, let me, on behalf of myself, of my colleagues here, of Sir Charles and stuff, wish you all a bounteous, bountiful 2019.
Yeah, take us along with you.
A year that will be characterized by abundance, not just in terms of things that we have and own. Because there's always this tendency that when you own something, that instead of you owning it, it owns you. Alright? And you have to be very careful about that. Abundance, understand that the trigger for abundance is giving. You know, the universe, you know, and another thing that I've talked about, Roger, is that the universe is a reciprocal mechanism. Right? Action and reaction equal and opposite. All right? And there is always an interchange in the universe. The universe, you know, another way I say it is that the universe is a conversation piece. Because it's always an interaction, always an interaction. All right? People meet and they act and they react and they interact. And those are the things that make for life being, you know. And I think if I talk about a personal high point for my year, so Charles, coming back to you, I think one of the best moments I had for the year, that was longest lasting in terms of a sense of fulfillment, was a presentation I did for the THA at a breakfast meeting they had in November, in late November. I did a presentation on cryptocurrency. It was fintech, blockchain technology, and cryptocurrency. And I did a presentation which I borrowed a title from on the net that I saw. I loved it. It was from barter to Bitcoin. And the presentation was about a brief history of money. Okay? But I'm telling you, it was one of the most fulfilling things that I did. I don't know if it was the most fulfilling, but it was one of the most fulfilling things that I did for 2018. Because you know, sometimes you do a presentation, Roger, and you're hitting it, and you're getting the vibes, you're getting the feedback, the energy and stuff from your audience and stuff. And I was happy to have done it because it forced me to, I'd heard about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and stuff like that, hadn't paid too much attention to it. But having to do the presentation, I had to do research. And that research was so beneficial to me. And I was able to put together that because I said, look, let me try and give money some context. So I did a brief history of money starting from barter days and coming forward, and showing that every time that currency changed and so on. And you know, I give that. It was a high point for me, and I think it was because people, it was so beneficial to everybody.
I think my high point was a couple months ago. I did a speech for Shibona Central Secondary, and that school had a lot of kids from Enterprise, and as you know, Enterprise is hot right now, right? So a lot of the kids there, you know, some of them in gangs and all that stuff, and it was their graduation? It was an award giving ceremony, and it was the first time they ever heard somebody talk about money, investing in business the way that, you know, they heard from me, and it shocked them. It shocked them, literally shocked them. So after the talk, they came up to me in droves, and they're like, "Oh my God, you basically changed my whole life. I even know I was on the right track. I thought I was a dunce head," you know, not realizing that the ability to sell is the #1 skill in business. So if you're hustling in school, where your teachers and your parents say that's a bad thing, we're here to tell you that's actually a really good thing. And if we want you to keep on doing it. And they were confused. They're like, nobody ever told me to, you know, to hustling is a good thing in school. And it is.
Bottom line, it is in giving that we receive. And so we trust that as you move into 2019, that giving should be high on your agenda, because that is the key to abundance, to wealth, to prosperity. And I wish you all these things for 2019.
1863.
Of
course not. I love it. I love it.
Hopefully we're going to hear all next year too.
If you want to get on to me at all, if you send me a note, you will have a question, whatever. If there are things that you perhaps would like us to deal with on the program as we move into 2019, you can get me at everycentcounts@garthvibrant.com. everycentcounts@garthvibrant.com. Blessings.
Thank you very much, people. Thanks for being here. Keep it here about 1 and 2.1 for coming back with so much more for you, right? Stick around.